Okay, thank you. The time is 4:17. I will call to order the October 24th meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners. We have a quorum. We have Commissioner Frank Collier Clemens and Mayor Rilling. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the meeting of September 19th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I move.
Moved by Commissioner Collier Clemens. Any corrections, deletions, omissions?
Yes, on page 4, heading number 2. The word D is a typo and it should be fee, F-E-E.
Okay, yep.
And that's the only correction I have.
Okay. Any other corrections or deletions? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next item on the agenda. The promotion of Officer Matthew Nyquist to detective. I need a motion.
I move the item of promotion.
Okay, Chief?
Yeah, thank you. So we've had an opening in the Detective Bureau for quite a while. When Detective Collins left to go to the FBI as a special agent. We then had a second opening when Detective Maloney left, retired. We filled one of those spots, as you recall, with Detective Barron, but the second spot was not filled due to manpower issues. Now that we're able to start recovering from that, we need to fill that other slot to make some personnel changes and some personnel moves. And Officer Nyquist is number 1 right now on the detective list. He's been extremely patient over the last number of months when, you know, his slot was kind of open, but we just couldn't do it. And now we're able to, and I'd like to ask the commission to approve the promotion of Officer Nyquist to detective.
And when, I know we have to administer the oath of office, so when would that take place, or when are you looking to make this effective?
It would be effective on Thursday, and the oath has been scheduled with your office, I think, Thursday.
Okay, so effective this Thursday, the 27th?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So a motion has been made for the promotion of Officer Matthew Nyquist to detective effective Thursday, October 27th. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, future Detective
Congratulations.
Nyquist.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything, or?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we appreciate you taking on
Your
new
patience.
challenges, and I'm sure you'll do a great job.
Thank you very much.
Solve your first case by Thursday afternoon.
Absolutely. I intend to.
Okay. And next item, Chief, recognition of officers of the month.
Yeah, we have 2 different cases. So the first one is Officer Paul Wargo. This is as a result of an incident on September 16th. He was dispatched to an unconscious male with bystanders doing CPR. This was on the road, on the side of the road. He arrived. He used his AED to administer a shock to the individual and then took over CPR until EMS arrived, and the person had a heartbeat when paramedics responded. And Supervisor Katz from Norwalk EMS brought this to our attention and noted that he felt without a doubt that this individual would have not have survived had not it been for the quick work and training and the professional work that Officer Wargo did to resuscitate this individual. So we want to recognize him as one of the officers of the month for September.
Well, congratulations to Officer Wargo, and certainly thank you for that outstanding attempt and saving of a life. Those are the kinds of jobs that those are the kinds of incidents that give you great pleasure and very good, much satisfaction. And I'm sure the individual's family is very grateful as well. Commissioner?
Very, very. Yes, and my congratulations to Officer Wargo also for continuing to be able to exercise and the training, the preparation for situations like this, and to perform in such a way that ends in a favorable outcome and a life saved. So congratulations very much.
Okay, Chief, next item is second group of officers.
Yes, this is for Sergeant Lee Young, Detective James Barron, Detective John Toronto, and Detective Lindsay Taylor. This results from an investigation on September 2nd, where Detective Barron developed information that a person that was known to them was in possession of a firearm in the area of Chestnut Street. Sergeant Young coordinated his detective squad, which included the detectives that I just named. And working together, they noted the suspect, began a foot pursuit, and quickly apprehended the individual who had a loaded firearm along with a high-capacity magazine that was in his pant leg. Lieutenant Matera brought this to our attention for award for their proactive work. And I was advised by Deputy Chief Walsh, who viewed the body camera of this, that my description doesn't hold water compared to what actually happened there. So I apologize to them for the brief description of what occurred, but it sounded like this was a very tenuous situation that they handled tremendously, and they brought a felon into custody and removed a high-capacity magazine and a semi-automatic handgun illegally that was being held illegally from this individual. And the individual has been well known to the department. So again, we want to recognize the group for as Officers of the Month for September.
Deputy Chief Walsh, do you want to add anything? You saw the video.
No, it was great teamwork and supervision by Sergeant Young and all his detectives. I watched the body cam. It was like the chief said, it was a very tenuous situation. They did a great job under tough circumstances to apprehend him with limited use of force and recover the weapon.
Again, thank you to the detectives. You know, just another example of what police officers might be doing on any given day. Thankfully, it ended well. We know that's not always the case. And most recently, the incident in Bristol, the horrific incident in Bristol. But thankfully, the officers involved were able to apprehend him, the individual without injury, and take him into custody. And as importantly, take a weapon off the street that might have been used for something else. And so they prevented how many unknown tragedies we don't know. Again, thank you to all the officers involved, all the detectives involved in this outstanding case, and we really appreciate the things that you do on a day-to-day basis every time you go out out in the street. Commissioner?
I just want to thank you for the work and working together and individually. You know, some of the things that you all did and put into action weren't anything that you could have learned in the class. It's just, you know, second nature to you. And the fact that you always do your best and you have unexplicable insight and intuition or whatever it is that you have in order to bring these kind of situations to a good ending and keeping yourselves safe. So I'm just very, very thankful for the fine work that you continue to do, and you continue to keep our city safe and keeping yourselves safe. So thank you so very, very much.
Once again, congratulations. Job well done. Okay, patrol staffing, selective enforcement report, Deputy Chief Walsh.
Yes, for September 2022, 176 sworn personnel. We'll still have 5 patrolman vacancies. In September, 178.75 sick days were used by sworn personnel, 166 and a half workman's comp days, 7 officers currently on long-term. Detective Bureau activity in significant cases. For September, they opened up 54 cases, 3 commercial burglaries, 2 residential burglaries, 1 burglary into a car, which have significantly slowed down, 1 robbery, 4 larcenies, 1 assault. We had 1 shooting with 1 victim who was uncooperative in the investigative process, 3 shootings with no victims where the detectives are investigating the circumstances, 6 death investigations, IVOAs, 14, 2 overdoses, 15 others, and 1 sexual assault investigation. We are investigating 2 retaliatory shootings with no victims that appeared to be gang related. Michael Schenk was arrested on a warrant charging robbery first and larceny. Currently conducting several deadly weapon offender registry investigations for non-compliance, and 1 arrest made on sex offender registry violation. To note also, which I did not note down, is that the detectives are still busy, still doing several background applications for candidates. Special services activity and significant cases. They opened up 26 cases. They made 8 felony arrests, 1 misdemeanor arrest. They executed 9 warrants and 0 search warrants. They did seize 2 illegal gambling machines from a liquor store on Ely Avenue, and that establishment is currently under further investigation, and 3 temporary liquor background investigations. Special Victims Unit for September, they remain busy with 50 cases, 2 felony arrests, 1 misdemeanor arrest, 2 warrants, and 0 search warrants. They are conducting a death investigation into an infant. Services provided to a 90-year-old dementia patient living in poor conditions. 3 full-time SROs with 5 additional school security hires implemented since the beginning of the school year, and implemented full-time DCF caseworker embedded into SVU for a better agency partnership. Traffic unit activity, 64 moving violations were issued by traffic unit personnel. All 3 motorcycle officers attended refresher motorcycle training. Some of the enforcement locations based on citizen complaints: Beach Road, Wilson and Crest, Witch and Hunt, Honey Hill, William and County, Rampart and Shaw, Seaview, West Rock, Sparrowsap, Perry, its Studio, and Fox Run. They participated with Amtrak PD in Operation Safe Track, and they also participated in the 9/11 United Ride. They also community services planned, and they implemented the Noack Night Out on the 27th, which was a well-attended event this year. Total criminal arrests for September was 155, and patrol division calls for service was 4,666. And for selective enforcement, in the month of September, as a department, we gave out 182 total citations, 53 for traveling too fast. Stop sign was 11, red light was 11, no license was 18, suspended license was 8, no insurance was 8, cell phone violations were 4, and there were 0 DUIs made in the month of September. But we are implementing some DUI hires, grant hires right now, currently through November and the holidays. So that activity should pick up.
Any questions, Commissioner?
No questions. I just wanted to say that the Norwalk Night Out was really a great event. That there were a lot of community organizations, and the people that are attending seem to be getting informed as to what services are available here, and the police were out, and it was just really a wonderful evening. Thank you for all of those who had part in setting it up.
Absolutely. Of course, they didn't save me any pizza, but that's okay. The pizza ran out very quickly.
Yeah, the kids like that.
I know. Okay, next item on the agenda is the training report, the administrative services report, Deputy Chief Zecca.
Yes, for monthly training, the team's training, our ESU team, tactical response team conducted training, as well as the crisis negotiation team. General recertification training, people attended bloodborne pathogens and hazardous materials. There was some dispatch call taking training that occurred. The chief DC Walsh and I attended a leadership training as well as a legal updates training. We had 3 people attend an A-RIDE class, which is kind of taking the next step toward drug recognition expert with, especially with the legalization of marijuana, detecting under the influence driving has become more complicated. So that we're slowly putting officers through that class. We had a few officers attend a tactical emergency casualty care training, which is a coordinated effort of police, fire, EMS responding into a scene to make sure to keep the scene safe as well as provide medical assistance to those injured. We had multiple officers are in their medical research or emergency medical responder training, which is their medical certification as first responders. And then also NCIC training, which is the certification for the crime database that we use. And Sergeant Paulino attended a Secret Service computer applications course as he advances his technical training in that area. That is about it. And obviously we continue to have officers in the academy and on-field training. So that's taken up a lot of time, the field training, etc.
Okay, very good. Commissioner?
Very good. Continue keeping up the good work and training because we see the results of it with these officers who are officers of not using some of this very training that they're getting each month. So that's great.
Okay, now we have personnel matters. We'll go first. We'll need a motion for the tuition reimbursement request for Officer Scott Russo.
I move to issue tuition reimbursement for Scott Russo.
Chief?
Yeah, so I have a reimbursement request for 2 classes that were pre-approved. So it's $960 and $960. I just want to point out, though, that he did not provide us with an invoice he provided everything but the invoice of what was paid. We had asked for that before the meeting, but we have not received it. So I don't know if you want to amend the motion pending receipt of the invoice, or if you just want to go ahead and approve it. But everything's in order except for the actual invoice of what was paid.
Or we can approve it subject to him providing the invoice for you.
Yep, that's good.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Now, Officer Daniel Vasquez, the tuition reimbursement.
Yep, this is reimbursement for his final class towards his master's, which was pre-approved, the capstone seminar. All the documents are in order, and the reimbursement amount is $1,505.
Okay,
I move tuition reimbursement for Daniel Vasquez in the amount of $1,505.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And now that he's got his master's degree, he's looking for a stipend. Commissioner? We need a motion.
I move the master stipend for Officer Daniel Vasquez.
And he provided his diploma for his master's in public administration from Sacred Heart, requesting the degree stipend on his pay per the collective bargaining agreement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we're complimentary letters, Chief.
Yep, the first one is from a Norwalk resident. Her husband reported her missing as he could not reach her. It was a phone issue, but he got concerned when he called her phone and wasn't able to make contact with her for quite a while. He notified the police as it was about 7 hours where he couldn't reach her. And the individual wrote to praise Officer Jonathan Smith, one of our newer officers, one of the laterals that came over, as he was conducting a very thorough investigation, because at that time he wasn't sure exactly what had happened to her. Thankfully, it all worked out and she was not actually missing, but just unable to be contacted. But they were very thankful for his hard work and what his work trying to locate her, and actually it ended up, everything was fine. The next one is from another individual. This is regarding Officers DeVito and Officer Daly. It was a medical call, and the person contacted me to report how well and professional and with respect they were treated by the two officers when they needed emergency medical assistance, and they wanted to praise them for their help and how they handled the situation. The next is from Norwalk EMS. Aaron Katz. This is regarding Officer Wargo's life-saving award, or life-saving Officer of the Month designation, bringing this to our attention. The next is regarding, I don't know that we were able to, we weren't able to determine the officers involved. They didn't, because they didn't give us enough information, and we weren't able to gather exactly. But the officers responded to a call from the resident. They were surprised that the police responded. It was a mistake call, and the officers responded to the alarm, and they were very pleased with the way the officers handled the situation. And the next is from Ryan Harold, the Director of Safety and Security for Norwalk Public Schools. And he was just commenting to me on the quality of the security and the SROs and the work that the officers have been doing, working with the school system, and how engaged, and the feedback he's got from the school administration and the school staff has been 100% positive. And he's witnessed nothing but professionalism from all involved with the schools, and just wanted to reach out to let me know that, of how impressed he was. And the next is from the town of Weston, from their volunteer fire department and volunteer emergency medical services. This was regarding the assistance that the department provided for the unfortunate situation that we had to deal with the funeral for Lieutenant Blake's brother, who passed away fairly suddenly. We assisted, as the services were all in Norwalk. So our officers did the escorts, handled a lot, and also attended the services. And the final is regarding Officer Wasilewski. She called because she thought she was being followed. Officer Wasilewski responded. He calmed her down. She said she was having trouble breathing, and he was able to calm her down, handle the situation. She expressed her that he was had a very positive interaction with him, and was very pleased that he responded to her call for assistance. And one more, finally, individual reporting their gratitude to Officer Vento, who responded to a call, and they said that he showed extreme empathy and compassion towards them, and they were very pleased with his service and the fact that he responded to their call. And that's the complimentary correspondence for September. Quite a few.
Again, just showing all the good work that's being done by our officers on the street, and the compassion, and every case they handle with professionalism, whether it's the highest emergency or something, just taking a few moments to talk to somebody and calm them down. Very well, very, very nicely done.
Absolutely. I agree.
And actually, I got another one today for Officer Wasilewski, which will be on the October meeting regarding his interaction with another motorist. So he seems to be on the complimentary letters every month.
Good. It's always good to hear. Okay, so now we have to go out of public session into executive session. And I need a motion.
I move to go into executive session.
Okay, we're going into the executive session at 4:42. All in favor, for the purpose of reviewing of background of prospective police officer candidate. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, and we will go into executive session. Okay, it is now 4:57. We are out of executive session. During executive session, no motions were made, no votes were taken. Commissioner Clemens, Collier Clemens.
I'd like to make a motion to offer employment as a probationary officer to Raul De Leon, pending time determined by the chief and deputy chiefs for his availability from his current position in New York.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations and welcome aboard to Trooper De Leon or Sergeant De Leon. And now I need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and it's 4:58 and we are adjourned, and the next meeting is November 21st, 2022. Thank you.
All right. See you then. Take care,
Thanks.
everybody. Be
Bye-bye.
safe.
Good night.